Hey you! So today we have Ant-Man from Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I thought, well, I'm going to get him to go with the my Infinity figures, even though he's in his own film. But yeah, let's have a look, and then hopefully we can compare him to the Civil War one. First of all, we have Ant-Man. We have this lovely little window display. We have Ant-Man here, his logo, and we see him going from from a small ant to a giant ant. And then we've got the kind of generic little things we can get there. I really wish they put them in better poses. Then we've got Ant-Man here, and then that's it. So let's open this bad boy and have a look inside. And here is Ant-Man. He looks completely different towards how the Civil War one is. And I thought it may be the same one, but his suit has changed, and it looks really, really cool. I really like this kind of red part of his entire body. I think like the texture is really cool. One thing that I will say is this figure, it feels very plasticky, and I don't really like that. But to be honest, it kind of stands out a tiny bit. So when you touch here, you can feel that it is all textured. It is not just a kind of flat plastic or just shiny. His helmet looks absolutely fine. You can see the red lenses behind it and the red coming down here. When you look at the kind of the side here, to me it feels very kind of Kamen Rider-esque, which is kind of cool, and I really love the detail that they've gone into the helmet. When we look at his arms down here, you can see that the joints really work well with how it looks around it. And again, we've got a little bit of his gauntlet here, and again on that side, and the red goes all the way down, which I kind of think is really cool. Don't know what this is in the middle. Don't know if this is just part of the costume, if he taps his chest to kind of shrink down or something, but it kind of stands out a tiny bit. So as we move down to the next part of his body here, you can see his belt. It reminds me very much of like a Kamen Rider belt. We can see that there is more kind of red going all the way down, and the trousers look very plasticky. To me, it looks like it's pleather, not leather. So it kind of really off-puts me just the way that the black is in this. I think that it could have been done slightly better, but there's quite a lot of creases which kind of really make it stand out. When we go back up to the belt, we see there's a red dot, and then even on the belt there's a lot of detail to it. As we come down to the kind of next part, his legs, they again look like normal. I would say again very Kamen Rider-esque. We can see that the lines around his shins go there. We can see that there's more red kind of textured thing, like bumpy things going all the way down into the actual figure itself. So they've not kind of like cut it off. Now I've not seen Ant-Man and the Wasp yet. I'm hoping to see it very, very soon. So I don't know if this is 100% accurate to his costume, but to be honest, they've never really kind of stopped anything like that, so I don't think that they will. So it's going to look exactly like it is in the film. As we come to the back of the figure, I can see here that they're using the same joints as they do in the Dragon Ball Z Figuarts, and then obviously you've got here again a lot of the red of the kind of like the textured plastic, which is exactly the same. It feels a lot more kind of softer than it does kind of rugged. As we move up to the legs, we see that the plastic is ruffled, so it looked like he's wearing his trousers, and then down here you can see there are lines here and then just underneath here so that the foot can move, which is good. Back of the costume looks okay. You can see a lot more red going along the lines, and it kind of follows a pattern, which is kind of cool. Again, more Kamen Rider belt. And then again, even like this, like if you can just see it, just here on his elbows, they've actually like kind of got a small square, which is kind of cool. We can see that more on the arm here is kind of a red piece there. And again, we've got one just there that looks kind of really cool. I really like this part. I think this looks really cool. Very kind of Metal Gear Solid. So that looks kind of cool. Look, obviously it goes down his spine. So it works really, really well. And again, when we come up to his kind of like his shoulder pads, you can see there's more detail along the black as well as on with the red. Very briefly, as we come up to the neck, you can see that there's lines, so it looks like the leather is kind of moved back a little bit and it's got creases, and then the back of the helmet we've got kind of integrated. To me, from this sort of angle, reminds me very much of Age of Ultron, as in would be like Ultron himself. When we look at the side of his helmet here, you've got the kind of antennas to show Ant-Man, which is cool. I really like the detail that they've put in there. Now, very quickly, if we look at the top of his head, very reminds me of Iron Man, but you can see that they've got detail just there, which is really cool. So we do a stress test where you see what the figure can do. So we move there, like that's really cool. Even there, like more detail on the foot. Can you twist the foot around? No, you're pretty much locked in just the way the foot is. So it's just up and down, up and down. When you bend the knee, it's absolutely fine. So you got a little detail there, just like so. Let's do it on this one. Like so. The legs kind of move around like that. Very weirdly. Let's move, flexing the body. So you can kind of really turn it around. I've never really done that before, and not with like figures like that. So it's kind of very durable. Like the more I wanted to do it, and we've got something that pops off, which is his elbow, which again can be easily done. I really wanted to really kind of put it to the test then. Don't know why. Hands move around. Hands move up like so. So it kind of comes out so you can move it about. So we'll do it with this one here. And then we got the head turning around like so. And like that. Wanted to kind of add these two together, and to be fair, they look like something from Kamen Rider. They fit the Ant brothers or something like that, but they look kind of really cool standing next to each other. You know, it feels like this was the main hero and this is his kind of like Sentai or Kamen Rider like power-up mode, which I think is really cool. Or they could be enemies. But when looking at the very, very similar, apart from like the shoulders, it feels more kind of broader. You know, it looks kind of cool. Like if you stand them like that, I think they look awesome. To be fair, I like the helmet more in this one than I did that. So if you swap them over, I think they'd look really kind of cool. You know, it's like, I am going to defeat you, brother. You can't defeat me. I'm going to defeat you, brother. Something like that. I think it'd be really kind of cool. I think they look absolutely stunning, kind of like back to back or something, or even posing them. But yeah, I just kind of really wanted to show like the more detail on the chest here is kind of very soft. There isn't a lot there, but compared to on the Ant-Man and the Wasp version, it's very rugged, it stands out more. Even on camera you can see that it stands out, but I think the greys work a lot more. This doesn't feel like a plastic figure compared to this. This feels like this figure from Civil War actually had a lot of time. So I'm really looking forward to the other one. I might get this like a third one, and then it'd be a complete team up. But yeah, they look kind of cool together. I thought I'd show you what they look like standing together. And there we go, Rangers. There is Ant-Man from Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I've got to admit, for a quick figure review on this one, I thought he'd come with more things. I will, though, give them credit because they've added 2 extra hands for him. But again, hands that I don't think I would use at all, which is a shame. But to be fair, he does look like he's from Kamen Rider or Super Sentai. And it looks like, well, if you put the other Ant-Man together, it looks like his brother. But I've got to admit, the figure isn't that bad. It's one that I'd possibly miss. If you're collecting them and you want to collect Ant-Man and the Wasp and then collect Wasp later, then obviously get her so they can go together. But to be honest, I'm not hugely impressed. It feels too plasticky. It feels like it could have been done better, considering the first one was absolutely, it was nice. And I think that they could have done the same sort of thing as give you a little version of him like they did with the first one. But to be fair, you know, he's not bad, worth getting if you want to get him. But yeah, it's a very hard one. If you're getting him for Ant-Man and the Wasp, get him for Ant-Man and the Wasp. If you want to get him for kind of a collection to go with the other ones, then fair enough, get him for that one. But if you're thinking, should I start with this one? Maybe not. That's probably what I'm saying. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. If you've liked this video, like, favourite, comment, and consider subscribing. Check the notification bell because there's going to be a lot more videos coming and you'll be notified that a new video drops. And as always, Rangers, thanks for watching and I'll see you in a bit.